be a quick video as I'm just responding. So shout out to John Ross Ford. I get the post that you posted, and apparently I don't know, she's white or whatever. They shared it originally, but I just wanted to kind of prove a point to respond to it really quick. So I'll give my thoughts on this later, but this is basically a post that says things that men should never debate women about: abortion, breastfeeding, menstruation, female body hair, birth control, and access to feminine hygiene products. The point at the end was, these parts don't involve, these are not male parts, so therefore they don't involve um men. So let me say this first and foremost. I actually put a response post, just asking a simple question as to say, okay, so can you give me some things? Can you give me two or three things that women should never debate men on, or two to three things that you see that um, men debate, that women debate men on, that should stop. Now that post was posted about 15 minutes ago. Obviously, people don't have time to be on Facebook all day. And so, therefore, I can understand that. So I'll be waiting for that response. But shout out to John Ross, somebody that's on my main Facebook page that always shares some good stuff. But the woman actually responded. Now I don't know. I didn't click on her profile. All I know, that could be a meme or whatever. But clearly, only a woman would post something like that. And then it's a hashtag her body, her choice. So let's be absolutely clear here. Let me start with abortion. Well, let me say this first. All is sick is debatable, because anything that involves government, anything that involves tax dollars is not your money, it's our money. So therefore, everything is fucking debatable. Everything is debatable. Now, I'm not mad. I'm not gonna use a whole bunch of curse words because I don't know this person. This isn't meant to beat them up or anything like this. But I just wanted to, like I said, prove a point. So let's start. Abortion. I should jump around because some of these things are easier than others. So let me jump at number four. So female body hair. First of all, I'm not aware that female body hair it has anything to do with politics. I don't even know if this whole thing has anything to do with politics. But obviously, we're a political thing. So I don't. Maybe I'm ignorant. I don't know how female body hair is a political thing. I don't know if women are being told they have to come in the workplace or something like that, or school, whatever. So I'm assuming that's not political. Female body hair is about preference. So I'm not going to debate your preference. If you don't know how to come correct, you just won't get picked. And so the reality is, well, this is a white woman because the avatar is a white woman. So I'm gonna put it as a white woman. We're not gonna flip this. So generally with women in general, look, this I would refer you to the Tommy Lauren rant that she had when it comes to high value men or in demand men, which are men that women want. So we're not going to debate, okay, is he high value? Not, screw that. The men that the women want, they want women that don't have body hair like that because it's a hygiene thing. Okay, you don't want to do that. That's perfectly fine. You won't get picked. That will be reflective in the market. So the marketplace wants a certain thing. You have every right to want to do it or not do it, but the marketplace is going to reflect that as far as your outcomes. Now, what I hear too much with women is women have this thing where they think they can change men's preferences. They're trying to make that a social political issue. You have every right to do that. But the reality is that's a waste of time because the men that have options, what you find is they tend to do what they do. So you focusing on trying to change the men in their options. If you notice, men that women want, regardless of their income level or whatever, if a lot of women want and these dudes know they have options, they exercise them. You're never gonna convince men to not exercise their options. You're just not. And so it's a waste of time. Men are not don't need to debate with you. I'm telling you, I don't want a chick with body hair. Period. Period. Just like I don't want to. Now I don't prefer a chick with tattoos, but there's wiggle room. But no, I don't want your shins to have body hair, and I can let a little bit of the forearm go, depending on how it looks, because sometimes it's not a big deal. But if it's something where I notice, that's a problem. And I'm not gonna debate you on it and tell you shouldn't do it. Just like I don't tell people they shouldn't get a tattoo. That's just gonna be a judgment call that I'm gonna make, and that's up to me to make it. And my outcomes are gonna might be my outcomes based on that. It just is what it is. And what happens is men are looking at this differently between, am I gonna have sex with you or prefer you for a sexual agenda, or am I gonna do have sex with you and obviously pursue you as a serious long term partner? So I mean, you could like, so female body hair shouldn't even be in this. So we're gonna cross that out. That's already been addressed. If you don't, which the next thing we're gonna talk about is menstruation. I don't even know why it's in there. Who's debating you on menstruation? That should be lumped into hygiene. Access to feminine hygiene. So we're gonna cross that out. The second thing is I would, and when I say this, I'm serious. I would love, because I'm gonna post this link in the thread. I would love to see a video where an actual dude is not like a loser, or like an actual dude is debating a female on that. I would like to see that. Like, I like for somebody to reference, because I've never heard that. The other thing is breastfeeding. Look, man, I'm a little bit more malleable about that, but this idea that women want to breastfeed everywhere and anywhere, I'm gonna say this: you leave that to individual business. Me personally, if it was up to me, I'm a little bit movable on that, but if it was up to me, I'd be like, y'all need to just keep that shit in the house and be done with it. But I'm gonna leave that on to some libertarian shit. That's up to the business. That's up to whatever business that wants to do that as far as restaurants. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. Just like I prefer people to not smoke. Damn, a smoking. If we can tell people that they shouldn't smoke, now people would say smoking is a health hazard, so it's different. Whatever. If we can create laws and make businesses not be able to have a smoking section, as far as I'm concerned, y'all, it ain't killing y'all, especially in COVID. But even when it wasn't, it ain't killing y'all to not be able to breastfeed outside. You are. That's what bottles are for. That's so. Please stop it. Like, that's not something. Oh my God, women are oppressed. Get the fuck out of here with that. And that's definitely a debatable topic. As far as, I mean, what are you willing to give up to be able to do that? I'm just getting the small ones out. Birth control, most, like, yeah, Republicans can be, or the conservative right can kind of be antsy on birth control, but the truth is most Americans, most men don't have a problem with you all getting birth control. In fact, if it was up to me, I wouldn't have an issue with you all having direct access to the morning after pill for free, or for a very, very minimized price, because this, I don't know when I'm gonna wait to get an abortion shit. No. And I don't, so I have no issue with birth control. And but what I will say is, when it comes to the debatable piece, now this is where I'm going to start crossing into different cultures and races of women. For instance, African American women in general, American women in general, are not telling the truth about how they feel about birth control. The truth is, a lot of women want to have, and it depends on the group, but I'm gonna keep it American. A lot of women want to have raw sex with no consequences. So they use birth control as a way of a euphemism for trying to make it like men are oppressing you. The truth is, there's 20 something different types of birth control. Pick one. So now, is it that birth control should be free, provided to the government? Fucking pay for it. Okay? That's all I got to say for that. That's definitely debatable, because that has nothing to do with your body. Another thing too, I think that paternity fraud should be illegal in this country. Go figure. I think men should be able to get a free paternity test. So so I don't want to hear nothing about no free birth control if it's not on the table that men can't get free paternity tests to verify the paternity of their child. I don't give a shit about how expensive that is, because paternity, you can argue paternity fraud is like 33%. But see, you will never hear. So it's not so much about how bad, like I said, what are you willing to give up? Not some gimme, gimme, gimme. But nobody's really against women and birth control. It's just our dudes against paying for it. So it's not your body, it's my money. So it's our money. So you don't get to say, oh, well, it's my body, so I'm going to levy the government. No, you're right. It's your body. You go buy it if it's important to you. We have a separation of church and state for a reason. So you already have that. The next thing is access to feminine hygiene and products. Okay, that could be kind of lumped into birth control, but what is that? Is a political? I don't understand the political argument with that. Maybe I'm ignorant. Access, like we have CVS's, we have drugstores. What are you talking about? Are you saying that the shit should be free? Like like I understand food deserts. Where is the desert of access to feminine hygiene and products? Where's the access? Where? Rural areas, which you if in rural areas the drug market is going to be the. So I don't know what would. Again, this was just a meme, but I just wanted to break that down how silly some of this stuff is. And then the biggest one is obviously number one, which is abortion. Um, Abortion is absolutely debatable. It's absolutely debatable. First of all, you can say it's your body, your choice. First of all, it's not your child. It's our child. You can't make that on your own. You either have to get to go to the sperm bank or you have to get a sperm from somebody else to make that. And by the way, dudes do not have sex with women saying really low key signing up to pay for it. So, would you actually agree that it's my money, my choice? Would you actually agree that if I have sex with you, that is not a declaration of intent to have a child? Now we want to play. Same women will then play the game it takes two to make a baby. Well, then you can't have it both ways. You either got to take it one. You got to either accept it one way or the other way. It can't be this half where all I get all the benefits and none of the liabilities. And dudes are getting real starting to get loud about that. Like me personally, I'm more pro-choice. But when it comes to like the pro-life argument, clearly since 1973, women have had what almost read about almost 40. It has had 47 years to see how they're going to do with this. And clearly, I don't think women have, as an overall group, has been responsible with the ability to abort. I don't think that can be statistically challenged. But my point is, dudes, people are putting out there that dudes should have the right to financially abort. I think that if a dude doesn't sign a paperwork saying he wanted to have that child or he agrees to be a dad, he shouldn't have to. Just like how you shouldn't have to be able to keep a child because a dude wants you to. Now, people could say, well, what are we going to do about this baby? No, you got to take it all the way or no way. And by the way, I think child support is unconstitutional because you can put people in jail for child. That's debtor's prison. This is why the family court law. So my point is, there's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to that. Another thing too, and this is the post that the actual dude posted was actually a really really great post, and I'm gonna copy his content and put it in the first in the description of this video if I keep it up. Which I'll probably keep it up a little bit because it was really good because he was talking about like 41 governors are men, 40 35 of 50 lieutenant governors are men, 41 governors are men, and in the end he said all these things to talk about like men have the advantage when the vote, and then the other thing he said women have a 60% voter turnout to men's like 51% or something like that. And the point is that he was making is that it's women that typically put a lot of these dudes in office, and you can say that even for Trump that what really Trump did better with white women than Mitt Romney did, which is really what put him over the top, which is something you never hear women talk about because women don't, quote unquote, in their minds, bash other women. But when coming back to the abortion piece, we're not even going to talk about the fact that amongst all Americans, the birth rate is getting below 2. We're not going to mention what the birth rate is for white people because I'm not trying to make this that type of video. I would say as a white woman, you might need to go look that up. I would also invite you to go look that up in Europe. So amongst Caucasian people, that is a problem. That is a problem because your numbers matter. And this is true for every group. I would say as an African American, we have had 50 million abortions, which is very alarming given that black women are 6% of the population. It's crazy how amazing access to abortion seems to be specifically targeted to black women. Everywhere. Interesting how that works. And you see that as a result of our numbers, we're now generally not the second largest population in the city, but we're a third. We're the third. I'm from Chicago, where we are the third. And that stuff matters when it comes to voting. It matters when it comes to economics. It matters when it comes to a lot of stuff. I would also invite you to go to look at when Caucasian people officially become a minority. And a lot of those numbers are being moved up. They say like people that are like anybody that's like 13 years old or 12 or 12 years old now, um, that's white. They're in a world where once they as they come up, they're gonna be in the minority. So my overall point is outside like number four, five, and number three, four, and five can all be charged under none but number actually number two, three, four, and five can all be charged under hygiene, technically. But all these things, I'm gonna end it with this summary. Stop pretending like folks have two things. Number one, stop acting like it's men versus women. All men do not have the same rights in the United States. Let's stop acting like if you're a white woman, the only group you really have to worry about that can really compel you to do anything are white men. That's it. All other men can't make you do shit. And that's true for most parts of the world. Um, with the outside of Eastern Europe, the East like that. But like in the United States, that's for sure true. In the Western world, that's for damn sure true. Go look at statistics like Switzerland and other countries. But my point is, even in the United States, that's true. So let's stop acting like you're gonna. So I could easily put the race card out here and then say and shut all that down. But I'm not gonna do that. But let's keep this all real. Only one, and even amongst white men, only like you can argue only like the top 40%, I'd say 35, I even say 30% have really good women veto power. The rest of them, technically, women, they no. Even with white men, that's not true. And that's what a lot of people don't want to talk about. So that's the first thing. The second thing is stop trying to play this righteous morality argument. There's freedom of speech, and people have a right to challenge anything. Anything. The question is, can you actually back it up with facts, logic, insight, and information to prove your point? So if this is so powerful, this 1 to 6, the reality is this should be able to stand up to scrutiny. It shouldn't be some where I have to emotionally manipulate people and make people feel guilty, because this should stand on its own. All the things I talked about, and I'm hitting on a whiteboard, should stand on its fucking own. But see, deep down, a lot of this stuff doesn't. Each last one of these things could technically be challenged, and the ones that really can't are too silly. Like menstruation, are you curious? Are you serious? Like some of this stuff is silly and is designed to pack shit up. Like we're starting to cross into the fourth wave of feminism. Like I would really challenge if this is going to be what women don't have. First of all, abortion you already have the right to do. So none of this is really reflective of what women can't do. So now we start adding shit that's silly to make it seem like we have nothing. Like this is retarded. And people gonna dismiss it. Oh well, you're triggered. You made a whole video about. No, I just wanted to point this out because I wish somebody would try to tell me this in my face in real life. And I would say, so you're sure about that? And then I would start to ask them questions that I know they don't know. And then what they'll do is they'll just start retreating back to an emotional argument. Oh, well, you must do this, you must do that, just because you're challenging what they're saying. And I'll end it with this. At the end of the day, white women helped put Donald Trump in the White House. That's really the demographic that really got him Pennsylvania and got him Michigan. Don't be fooled by black people not voting, because black people have not voted in Obama numbers um, outside of Obama. So it ain't like Democrats can't get elected without that. But I know this wasn't meant to be political, but the truth is, Amy Barrett, who is a white woman, you know, she might be the very woman to knock out some of these things. So you're going to tell a female, and see, that's why they put her up there too, by the way. That's why they did that. But for memes like this, you have to actually stand and actually debate that to another white woman. You're not going to be able to say she doesn't have female parts or she's not married, she doesn't understand. They got that covered. They got that for y'all asses. Now, me personally, I'm more pro-choice. Now, I know in this video I say I'm pro-life. I'm more pro-choice by preference, but the reality of the situation is, in my personal situation, African American community, I don't feel like our women have using the right to abort responsibly at all. And I think we've lost too much and we continue to lose too much with that. And the consequences of that on the other side, I think are acceptable consequences to removing that. That's so I'm more of a practical pro life. And there are people like that. They're not people that make it a moral argument. It's more of a numbers argument. Um, Birth control, like I said, I'm all for I'm for free birth control, but I want men to get some shit too, like free paternity tests and stuff like that. By the way, you never hear men talking about men should be able to get condoms for free. People would say y'all need to buy them. You would never hear that. So really, until we start putting some serious stuff on the table that men want to get, when it comes to that, then y'all could pay for your own birth control. Although I will say I am very much open to morning after pill being a lot more accessible. Other than that, a lot of this shit is stupid. A lot of this shit has more to do with what a man prefers and trying to alter what he prefers. So anyway, this is already 21 minutes. AKA, yeah, what's up, everybody? Ooh, yeah, I like this. Okay, good. So it looks like I'm getting my numbers back to where we are. Well, at the end of the day, that's why they picked Amy Barrett. They picked Amy Barrett because you can't make these arguments to her. You can't make these arguments to her. You can't hit her. You know, they made and so the point is, you're not going to emotionally be able to override people like that. You're just not. So anyway, I just want to put this video up here. Maybe I'll link it, maybe I won't, but that's all it was. I may do another video. We'll see. But I'm actually working on something, and I actually saw that, so I wanted to share it. In fact, I'm probably going to unlist this because this is not meant to do that. NBA fan, make sure you email me at my Edward Anderson 300k at gmail.com. Got something to talk to you about. Yeah. No, NBA fan, I'm telling you, I know you're young. Men are never going to get the right to financially abort. I will say that's the only value of that's why I didn't mention that. The only value of talking about financial abortion is it's kind of like when you're doing a negotiation and you give something that's very, very high so you can meet in the middle. The main purpose of talking about financial abortion would be to say, okay, then you need to give me free paternity tests. That needs to be made a lot more viable, and then we need to reform the family court. We need to stop assuming that the woman is the best parent. And like there needs to be a bill of rights for men when it comes to the family courts. There has to be. That's what you bring up financial abortion for. But dudes will never go for that. They're never gonna go for that. They're never gonna go for that ever. But that's the only reason of bringing that up. So anyway, that being said, appreciate y'all. What's up, Roger Report? But yeah, man, and I'll post the thing because he gave some really insight. We'll see where this goes, but appreciate y'all. I'm hanging up. Archer said they want Archer. Your son Archer. I need you to email me too at Edward Anderson 300k at gmail.com. Like remember what we did before. I got something not quite like it's like that, but it's much better. It deals with the issue. So hit me up. Roger, you hit me up too. Cause remember when what we talked about, but then you left, and I'll probably hit you up in the Telegram. A lot of y'all need to go get that Telegram app and download it too, so y'all can start getting in the fan group because that's actually a really good way to interact. And I'm gonna create like a fan group with that. Exactly. Yeah, the number's 50 million, Arenza, since 1973. No, what I'm saying is the MRA is creating a Bill of Rights and getting the Bill of Rights codified in law are two different things. So I don't know if they most likely did create a Bill of Rights, but I want that codified in law when it comes to the family court system. Like the main thing that men need to be advocating for is family court reform. That's why one of my favorite documentaries I like to promote is Divorce Corp because it shows how that shit has nothing to do with the child. No, I understand that. And to be honest with you, that needs to be reformed too. Archer. But my point is, yeah, the way people get assistance needs to change. Because if you start, because here's the thing, if you start talking about shit like, see, this is one, I'm gonna say this, and this is not meant for this video, but I'm gonna say it anyway. One thing you all need to understand about UBI is once you start putting UBI on the table, then that remove all welfare is gonna be gone. What's the point of having UBI? What's the point of having Social Security if you have UBI? What's the point of having all these things? So that's another thing that a lot of folks aren't thinking about. Is they're not thinking, and another thing too is you could probably opt out of UBI as well and provide an incentive for people to do that. So people are not really thinking about that. But anyway, I'm gonna leave this here. So with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.